Like the Israeli serial killer, these politicians are being deceptive, and it's to your own peril. Gillespie has no idea how most of you feel, but through repetition in the media, they want their illusion to be seen and believed to be reality. These politicians have polished up their language, and instead of attacking their black president with the words of their foreparents, such as, "Oh, you're one of those smart niggers," they instead opt for, "There's a kind of condescension towards Americans." Obama is American. In other words, these white politicians are irked, in the worst sort of way, about having a young, intelligent, black family man in the White House who has more individual political power than any one or a combined number of them. In January 2009, as Barack Obama was being sworn in as the 44th President of the United States of America, the media proclaimed that his popularity ratings were above 70%. Many had been given the illusion that the first indisputable black man to become President of the United States was an indication that white America had moved far in its acceptance of the black people of African origins. 2 or 3 months earlier, it was reported that no presidential candidate had ever received the amount of death threats this particular presidential candidate, Barack Obama, was receiving. How can we reconcile the presumed high popularity during and immediately following Obama's inauguration and the record number of death threats against this man and his family? January 2009, even though the day was freezing cold in Washington, D.C., as the parade moved through the streets and millions watched throughout the United States of America and even more from around the world, that day could never be as cold as the defeated, the vanquished, the Republican Party that was now a minority party in the House and in the Senate with a Democratic president. Republicans would again be showing how foolish they are if they think they can use President Obama's position on the construction of the mosque to inflame the passions of those who had loved ones who perished in the 9/11 attacks, the attack that was carried out by the Zionists. A conversation about 9/11 would also encourage a new look into exactly what happened on that day. Who was over the security at those airports, and who gained from what transpired after the 9/11 attacks? We would revisit the words of now Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about how the 9/11 attacks were most beneficial to the state of Israel. And I'm quoting, beneficial to the state of Israel. In a court of law, which the United States Congress slammed the doors on, you would look for motive and those who had the motives to carry out a certain crime. I am reminded of the Israeli Elias Abu el-Lazam, who was recently arrested in the United States in a city some of you call the Black Mecca, aka Atlanta, Georgia. This Israeli was arrested for killing and even harvesting the organs of several unsuspecting African Americans. Some Israelis and Zionists are quick to proclaim Elias as being an Arab. However, he is an Israeli who has served in the Israeli Defense Force, a person Palestinians would see as an enemy, a person black people would call an Uncle Tom if he is an Israeli Arab. I mention this accused killer to put to rest the assumption that Arabs and other ethnic groups do not work for the Israeli intelligence, the Mossad. These people are vicious, as we see in the case of Elias Abu el-Azam. These vanquished politicians couch their political objectives in the same stealthy manner of this killer. When the American people began to see the attacks upon their president for what they really are, and the angry Zionists who demanded these attacks, only then can the United States of America fully move forward. Until then, white America's future shall degrade to more hell, and don't believe you can make it stick on Barack Obama, because he will be elected again in 2012.
Despite the lowest approval ratings of his presidency, Mr. Obama is proving to be a key fundraiser at a critical time for Democrats.
President Obama is like the Democratic Party's ATM machine, and DNC Chairman Tim Kaine is doing the math.
Are you amazed at how effective he has been in raising funds in this short period of time?
I would say grateful and not amazed.
While it's part of a president's portfolio to also be fundraiser-in-chief, Mr. Obama is on an ambitious pace. Since January, he's headlined 36 events across the country, raising more than $22 million. In 2 separate trips to Boston and Miami in April, the president tapped a total of about $5 million.
We'll be able to put more money into the midterms by far than we've ever put in, probably north of $50 million.
This is T West with Afro Synergy.